You know why a lot of people are depressed? Some of you might be depressed. Let me chop it up with some of my family here. You know why a lot of you fall into depression? You fall into depression because you're not productive as far as attaining whatever goal you need to attain. When you are not productive, when you stop production, that's when the depression kicks in. You understand? You when you lose productivity, when you are not productive, when you are not working because of your goals, trying to reach that goal, that's when depression kicks in. When you are productive, ladies and gentlemen, and you are going for your purpose, the depression goes away. You did? You have to work at your purpose. When you work at your purpose, find out what your purpose is, and you find out what your purpose is by trying different things. You have to try different things. See what works, see what doesn't work, see what you like, see what you don't like. Yeah? But when you work towards your purpose, the depression goes away. You are depressed because you ain't working on your purpose. You see, you lose motion. You ain't making no progress. When you stop progress, when things grind to a halt, that's when things get down bad for you. That's why you notice a lot of people who are successful at something, and then when they retire, they get into a depression. A lot of people, when they retire, they get into a depression. When you retire from your industry, you get depressed because now you're not really moving towards anything. That's why a lot of people, the reason why, people die around 65, that's the common age for a lot of people to die, around 65. Why is that? That's right around retirement. The average retirement age is 65, and the average death age is 65. There's a reason for that. Yeah? There's a reason for that. When you stop attaining for something, when you stop making progress, that's when you start getting into a funk. Yeah? That's when people start getting into a damn funk. And yeah, a lot of people get depressed around the holidays too. A lot of people get depressed around the holidays, the holiday season, when you are not around certain friends, loved ones, families. Yeah. But listen, when you are focused, when you find out what you want to do, when you are keenly in tune with what you're trying to do, you're not going to even have the time to be depressed. Your mind is going to be too focused. And what happens is when you're not productive, you start trying to stimulate your mind with outside things like drugs and alcohol. All right? You start getting into drugs, alcohol, which makes it worse. All right? The drugs and alcohol makes it worse, and then sometimes you try to stimulate your mind with degenerate gutter sex. You just start banging any and everything. You see? You can't stimulate your mind like that. That's not going to cure the depression. That's only going to make it worse. When you are working and progressing towards your purpose, you don't have time you're not going to want to get drunk. You're not going to want to get high because you get somewhat of a high by obtaining your goals. You dig? Pursuing what you want to do, that's going to be your high. The progress that you make and the process of doing what you need to do, that's where you get your high. Putting that stuff together, putting projects together, getting stuff popping, and then working towards something great, and then achieving that, and then moving on to the very next thing. See, you don't, when you achieve something great, you might take a rest for a minute. It's good to take a rest. You don't want to burn yourself out. You take a rest, but you get back into something passionate. You get back into something else. People see, that's why you notice I do a lot of projects back to back. I keep myself busy. And I don't drink nor do I smoke. Yeah? I do not drink or smoke. I don't have a reason to, because I get high off the thrill of putting projects together and making the project successful. You see? Because I can get off a movie that I've been working on for a year, and then after that, do something totally opposite. That's why in between films, we would do mink slide albums. That was fun. Doing the album, and the only reason I haven't done one lately is because we're so busy working on the museum. I already have other projects going on. But during the mink slide projects, that's such a fun thing to do. You know, that's fun. Because music itself, music has healing properties. Music and producing music and all of that, putting music together, that has that's a healing thing to a certain degree. It heals your energy. But also other projects. If I'll do a movie, then write a book after. You dig? Then work on a book, then work on a book, then work on a streaming site, then work on an animation. Now we're working to get the museum popping. Now we're working to get the expo popping down in Dallas. So we stay productive. You dig? Oh yeah, I don't have time to sit up with somebody drinking and smoking. I just don't have, even if I wanted to, I don't have time to do it. You see? People get into drinking and smoking because you have idle time to do that type of shit. Yeah? A lot of times people get into drinking and smoking because you have the idle time to do it. I don't have time to sit up with somebody drinking. Yeah? I'm too busy for that. Yeah? I got a purpose. I have several purposes. My main purpose, see, sometimes you got to have a main purpose and then several other purposes. My main purpose is to make sure that the Black community is empowered by any means. That is one of my main purposes. My overall purpose.